Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome back to Versus. This one took me by surprise, but clearly did not take you by surprise, as this is our first on-demand Versus, the most requested matchup since we started. Incredibly, it's Omega AQUA TERRA 41 versus Rolex Datejust 41. They're comparable, but again, you guys are full of surprises. This one's for the fans. Versus starts now. Rolex launched the Datejust in 1945 on the 40th anniversary of the company's founding. The 41mm Datejust II, a product of 2000's tastes, bowed in 2009, and the Datejust 41 launched as a Baselworld 2016 novelty in gold and gold steel variants. Today's focus is an all-steel Datejust 41, an exclusively base metal option launched in 2017 as the volume model in the DJ41 family. The 41mm 2009 Datejust II followed the lead of 2008's 41mm Day-Date II. Curiously, the newer Datejust retains its original diameter even as the recent Day-Date 40 has retrenched from the excesses of the subprime bond era. The new Datejust plays a siren song of more finely tapered lugs, a narrower bezel, and a shorter span lug to lug. Absent its bracelet, the Datejust 41 is 2mm shorter across the wrist than its predecessor. The newcomer is thinner too, but only by 1/5 of a millimeter. Regardless of bezel chosen, all examples of the Datejust 41 are thinner than their Datejust II counterparts. Whereas the original Datejust II offered one bracelet option, the 3-link Oyster Sports Band, the new 41 restores the option of adding a 5-link Rolex Jubiliee bracelet with steel, bimetallic, and gold Datejusts. Sizable links remain screw-fixed, and Rolex's 5mm Easy Link continues to offer tool-free size tailoring equivalent to adding or removing one sizing link. Blink and you'll miss it. The Datejust 41 pares down the index size and stroke weight of the printed font relative to the Datejust II. One of the Datejust II's finest qualities has been retained. The Cyclops Eye date magnifier, an oft-polarizing Datejust fixture since 1954, seems better balanced on the broader expanse of the 41. Rolex dial quality remains outstanding and class-leading. The white gold indices and hands are flawless, and their luster handsomely complements the black base. About that black base, it's clearly a black metallic hybrid with a clear directional grain, and that's a quality that translates better in person than on camera. This is a more nuanced dial than the homogeneous gloss black common on the sports style, subs, GMTs, and their ilk. Although you can request your DJ41 with diamonds, or the so-called Wimbledon Roman numeral dial with partial lume, we recommend full lume for versatility and a more youthful aesthetic. Given the subtlety of external refinements, it's easy to describe the DJ41 as evolutionary outside and revolutionary inside. Rolex's manufacture caliber 3235 replaces the now 30-year-old 3135 architecture. The new movement retains a 31-jewel automatic fundamental layout, but huge changes are afoot. First, a note on finish. Rolex actually cares about it these days, and it's in evidence here. Not for you to see, mind you, but a Marine drill instructor once told me that integrity means doing the right thing when nobody's looking. She could have been a great watchmaker with Rolex. Power reserve soars from 48 hours to 70, and innumerable detail changes facilitate that leap. A new mainspring barrel with thinner walls makes room for a larger mainspring. New going train wheel profiles reduce friction. Rolex even provides next-generation lubricants of its own formulation. Finally, Rolex has a technological answer to Omega's coaxial. A new Rolex escapement called Chronergy accounts for 15% of friction reduction by itself. Reprofiled pallet stones and escape wheel are key. The hollow tooth Leica profiled escape wheel is a work of industrial art by itself, and realignment of the escapement components helps to maximize the effect of contact leverage. It's tough too. Date jump always occurs precisely at 12, and it remains crisper than the Omega's turnover. 100-meter water resistance protects all of the foregoing via solid caseback and screw-down twin-lock crown. In 1948, the first Omega Seamaster wasn't a diver, but a water-resistant all-arounder. The Seamaster Aqua Terra is that watch's direct descendant. The first Aqua Terra bowed in 2003 as a surf-turf Seamaster intended to replace the long-running Seamaster 120. 2008 brought the teak deck concept dials and the caliber 8500 coaxials. 2013 witnessed the first halting steps into silicon technology with the 15,000 Gauss. Today's watch is a product of the full-line 2017 refresh of the Aqua Terra, and it sports the line's largest raft of changes since 2003. The Aqua Terra 41.5mm was the mainstream model for 2016. For 2017, that was scaled to an even 41mm. Can you think of a segment rival in that size? Yeah, so can I. Aqua Terra is, quite literally, the Seamaster for water and land use. Its versatility sets it apart from the generally dive-oriented Seamaster families. Fortunately, the folks in Beale pulled to the right levers. Outwardly, the Aqua Terra 41's case loses the recessed shear guard profile of the old model. New symmetrical case, sporting a clean profile, is punctuated by a more prominent and more easily gripped crown. As with the Rolex, small refinements add up. The absolute span across the wrist drops nearly 3mm thanks to new pivoted end links that replace the flared solid links of the 2016 model. Wear with confidence on wrists as small as 14 centimeters. That said, the case profile remains instantly recognizable to Omega fans, and there's no doubting the patrimony of this beveled satin polish hybrid. The bracelet is sporting in style, but wears slimmer than the Planet Ocean and Seamaster 300 3-link designs. The Aqua Terra's bracelet is handsome, as robust as Rolex's storied 3-link oysters, and all removable links are fixed by screws. Clasp construction is minimalist compared to the divers, but twin trigger release remains to ensure total closure security on this surf and turf Seamaster. Omega went to town on the dial of the 2017 Aqua Terra. The original teak deck was a vertical set of symmetrical striations designed to evoke the planks of a yacht deck. The new watch retains this idea, but flips the planks 90 degrees for a horizontal orientation. There's also a variability to the size of the stripes that adds a measure of visual dissonance. Several dial colors are available, but this combination of slate metallic with cyan highlights struck us as the most intriguing. Regardless of dial choice, take note of the disappearance of 150-meter depth declaration. I'm all in favor of pairing dial text, and this is a small but cherished change. No change transforms the dial more than Omega's relocation of the date window from 3 o'clock to 6. It seems to mirror the shift of the watch's visual center from the old crown-heavy shouldered case to 2017's balanced dial ethic. To wrap this thing, balance is in, details are fewer but finer, the stripes are horizontal, and the lume remains excellent for a watch that's not a pure diver. 2017 also greeted a new Aqua Terra movement, the Omega ETA 8900. It's automatic, runs for a full 60 hours from full wind, and begins life as a COSC chronometer before passing through Omega's MATOS fully cased test of power reserve, resistances, and 6-position trial of precision. The status accounts for the phrase master chronometer on the dial. The brilliant George Daniels coaxial escapement was tamed for good when the 8500 series launched in 2007, and the system's combination of precision, stability, and reduced maintenance has been realized in this caliber 8900. The key functional distinction on the wrist from the Rolex will be Omega's hour-jumping time zone feature that allows independent setting of the hour hand while traveling. Internally, the Omega boasts a silicone hairspring, a full balance bridge, and a free-sprung balance. All 3 features contribute to stability and toughness. 150-meter water resistance remains. It's been banished from the dial, but the remarkably verbose caseback leaves no doubt. Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra advantages. Despite Rolex's mechanical strides, the coax remains a moonshot unlike anything outside the realm of exotic niche brands, and its ability to run to fractions of a second per day has been proved. The time zone jumper should be standard on all luxury watches, but it's exclusive to Omega in this test. Omega's watch is nearly amagnetic, Rolex is anti-magnetic, and this matters. Plus, an extra 50 meters of Seamaster water resistance guards against accidents. A display case back means that you can enjoy all of that tech. Both the AQUA TERRA's dial and case are more colorful, rich, and inventive. They're also expressive, and far more so than the orthodox and even anodyne conservatism of the Datejust. The Omega just makes me smile. Rolex Datejust 41, advantages. Resale value and brand equity unrivaled by any series production Omega, Moonwatch included. Finally, with Chronergy and the 3235, Rolex turns the tech tables to some extent with an extra 10 hours of power reserve. The Jubilee bracelet option lurks in the background. Add dial and metal options, and the Datejust simply offers more ways to tailor your watch. EasyLink bracelet extensions remain aces. Why does Omega still offer nothing of the sort on the AQUA TERRAs? These watches are products of two of the most vertically integrated manufacturers not named Seiko. Neither can be faulted on much of a substantive basis, as the investment by their makers is self-evident. I can't make this choice in anything but emotional fashion. Despite often referring to myself as an Omega man, Omega's losing streak in the Versus series is unbroken. Until now. The cheerful and techy Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra makes Swatch's first Versus pelt the biggest one of all.